Hi, Troop 216 Assistant Scoutmasters. This is another video uh, guiding through different options and things we can do in Troop Web Host. This one is tied into the last video because we went over how to give credit for requirements met, whether on rank or merit badges, if they were added to an event in Troop Web Host after taking attendance. And we saw that you had to go in and click into each item or each requirement separately and then give credit to the scouts who met that requirement, which for one or two requirements isn't too onerous, but for a large amount of requirements, there's an easier way. And so we're going to go over that tonight. We're going to start with how to do that for a group in merit badges, and then we'll quickly touch on how to do that for rank advancements, which the most likely scenario for that would be for our first year scout program or new scout program. But again, both are very similar, so let's get started. Again, being on the Troop Web Host landing page, being logged in, you will start over at menu. Then you will go down under maintain advancements, under advancements, then maintain advancements. And then you will see there is an option to enter rank requirements for a group, which we'll touch on second, and enter merit badge requirements for a group, which is what we'll start with. So once you click on that, it'll bring you to this page, and so obviously first you need to pick which merit badge. And if you see in here, most of these aren't relevant because we're not really dealing with any merit badges that have old and new requirements currently. But if there was one, we'll see a double entry for any scout who was still under the old requirements versus the new one, and then you can select the appropriate one. For this, I'm actually going to go down and put in some scouts who met fishing requirements, and we're going to go with the current ones during our Northern Tier High Adventure trip this year. So after I hit continue, you want to put in what date they met it. For us, I'm going to put in the last date we were in the backcountry up in Canada. And then under the counselor, Craig Winkleman was on the trip and acting as counselor for that. And then in here, I can put in a descriptor saying where they met it, or if there's any guidance on, what camp out, or was it summer camp or some other activity. So then we go into the merit badge requirements, and then this will list all of the ones that are available. Now obviously you could click the top button here and select all of them, or you can go in and select a subset of them. So for the scouts that were on this trip, we actually went through more of the actual how to do the knots, the importance of catch, release. We went over the regulations because we had to buy fishing licenses and talked about the why for that. We explained good outdoor sportsmanship relates to anglers, and obviously tried to practice some of that. And then we caught at least one fish and identified it. And then in this case, the regulations health concerns permit. They each had an opportunity to clean and cook and eat one of the fish that they caught. So now we will go down and actually look at which scouts. Now once you click that, you're kind of like, where did it go? You just need to scroll down. It's down here. So in this case, the scouts who were on the trip who met this was Ryan Dodson, Jake Murmura, Daniel Palachi, Carrick Winkleman, So go back up here and Patrick Ripple and Benny. So once I have all that selected, I can hit save, and it'll come back and tell me the scouts already have earned this merit badge. So in this case, Carrick already owns this merit badge, so he didn't earn any additional credit, but it also lets you know that he already had it. And then it'll say the requirements were marked complete for these scouts. And so it'll say for the different scouts what they did, and then it'll also tell you what they are still missing. So again, pretty much that simple. And now if you went into any of these scouts individually, it would show under the fishing merit badge the items that they have met and what they are still required to finish. So in that case, you can hit exit, and it'll bring you back to here. If you had another merit badge, you could obviously go and do another one. But as you can see, that is a much quicker way of doing a bulk or group of scouts who have met a requirement upload and showing that they've met the requirements. Now, obviously, if you had a mixture, you could still do it that way, but you'd have to do it kind of in stages of which scouts met which ones. And so again, if this is really handy if everybody met all of the requirements that you're putting in. Similarly, if you go back under advancements, go down to maintain advancements and enter rank requirements for a group, it'll bring you to this page. Similar concept, you'd put in what date, then it's really as you would expect kind of for the first 4 ranks. But you could do something like if they met a couple under scout, you could click here, then you could add some under tenderfoot and so on in case it was something like a new scout where they're meeting requirements across multiple ranks. And then you would go down and add which scouts were in attendance and then hit enter, and hit save. And then that would give the requirement being signed off for each of the scouts that met that. So again, this would be more applicable to something like a new scout camp out, or if we do a one of our one-day weekend events where we're trying to knock out some requirements for a larger group of scouts who are all doing the same thing. Now the nice thing is if everybody meets them, you don't have to go, did this person meet it or not? Because if you put it all in and select a scout who already has that requirement signed off, it'll just let you know and will only fill in the gaps for the scouts who did not have it. So this is a fairly quick and simple one, but again, very powerful if you're trying to put things in for large groups of scouts. This is also why you see that we don't typically use the ability in the event setup to put in the merit badge requirements, because it's easier to actually do large groups this way. I would also suggest, one of the easiest ways to kind of figure out different things in Troop Web Host is to spend a little time kind of poking around. So if you go under advancements, you can see there's a lot of different options in here that you could click on and kind of see what it shows you. So we spend most of our time in the maintain advancements, where we can go into an individual advancement, which goes into a single scout. Then some of the rest of these are earned at an event, which we went over before. For groups, again, a lot of this has different ways of getting into different advancement levels. But again, sometimes if you're curious of what the different things do, the easiest way is to play around a little bit and click on things. Most cases, you're not going to harm anything, so it's a good way to kind of familiarize yourself with a bunch of the different options. And I will even say that I continuously find additional features and things, and Troop Web Host does continue to add features. So there's every once in a while you'll get surprised that they've added a new report or option in here that you didn't know existed. So again, take some time, poke through here. I hope this was helpful. Hope it answered a couple of the questions around how to do larger groups for rank or merit badge. And stay tuned to more videos. As I've mentioned before, I'm not going to send out emails on all of these, so if you are interested in this content, go ahead and hit subscribe and the notification bell, and you will get notified anytime I upload new content. Or you can obviously go into Troop Web Host, go under Resources, Forms and Documents. Under Adult Leadership, and then you'll see ASM Training Series. This one will be added next, but you'll see the 2 videos that I've already done on adding events to Troop Web Host and event attendance and requirements met are already in there and linked up. Appreciate your time, appreciate everything you do for the troop. Hope you have a great night.